this video, I'm gonna be building my electric skateboard. So this video is basically a series of me failing over and over again and then suddenly working. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, so this is my electric skateboard that I've been building. Been trying to build one for a few months now. I've gone through a few different iterations of power transfer, and I think I'm finally gonna have a win. I got some new parts. Wait, hang on. So my boy Timmy got me this brushless motor and this 80 amp ESC. So I've never used brushless motors before, so this is all new to me. He got these from China, from this like crazy supplier place in China where it was super dirt cheap, so hopefully they even work. I haven't even tested them yet, but yeah. And so I'm just gonna drill holes in this piece of MDF and then mount this through there like that. Don't need that anymore. Lined up. Perfect. Okay, so I got the ESC and I'm gonna put one of these plugs on the end of it. Okay, all done. Let's attach the ESC to the motor. How can I I need to clip these onto here or something. Oh, and I need to control the ESC first anyway. Ugh. Okay, let's wire up the controller. Right, so I laser cut some wooden pieces to make the trigger controller for the skateboard. And so I'm just going to put this part inside there to detect the trigger movement. So, now I can put this on top. Oh, this is like a middle spacer bit. That part stops the trigger over going, and then I'm going to put a spring between this little thing here and this little bit here so that it's always down like this, and then I pull the trigger and it goes up like that and the spring pulls it back. Alright, so I got the trigger mechanism and I'm going to plug it into this Arduino. As I pull the trigger, it increases the output to the servo. Wait, yeah, not to the servo, to the ESC, but so I just need to write a program to detect the analog input and map it to the servo. We got the controller, the ESC and the motor. So what I'm going to do is cable tie these cables to there. The reason I don't have female bullet connectors is because Timmy was supposed to bring them to school today. I paid him for them. He did not. Oh, it made a sound. That means it's connected, I think. Now hopefully this ESC powers the Arduino. I think that's the idea. Yeah, it says it has 5 amp backwardness. So once I turn this on, the Arduino should turn on. Yeah, it is on. This isn't doing anything. I reprogrammed this so that it mapped the microseconds better, and it all works now. So get a little sign, and then it engages, and then it works. Now, I have had a bit of change of heart about the design of the power transmission. So, originally, I had this wooden truck which held an axle, and the axle was on bearings and I could muck around with that. That was good for prototyping, but I can't actually ride this because it doesn't have that flexibility to move. It can't turn the wheels. So this was good for figuring out the kinks and deciding I needed brushless and whatnot, but it's going to be no good from now on. So what I've done is bought a new skateboard because trucks cost a lot more than cheap skateboards. So I bought a whole new skateboard with new trucks. So I bought this longboard which has these trucks. Now the reason I did this is because this part here is circular on the truck. Like this part here is nice and thin. On my trucks that originally came with that board, it started here and had a big metal bit right here. So I couldn't put a gear here or anything like that. So my idea is to drill the middle of the gear out here and then make a bracket that goes over to here, hold the motor here, and then do the belt across here and spin one of the wheels. Now, a big problem with this is my gear that receives power, which is, where is it? This is unfortunately It's about the same size as the wheel. It's like 1 mil thicker. Now I could use the angle grinder and make this smaller to put it there, but I also don't have a drill bit big enough to expand this hole to go around here. So yeah, there's a few things I would have to do. I would have to make this a 18 millimeter hole. I would have to shave down this like guard so that it was smaller than the wheel, and then I would have to drill holes through here to put through those holes in the wheel so that they were one. Now that's super like invasive to both this and this and this probably, because I'll probably end up having to shave this down, but it's not impossible. So that's plan B. So plan A, which is what I'm going to try now, is less invasive but also less of a finished product. It's more of another prototype. Oh wait, never mind. That's not going to work at all. Okay. I guess it's plan B already. So for plan B, I have to expand this hole, make this thinner, and drill holes in the side of this steel gear. Okay, so expansion of the hole to 15 mil failed. The bit just did not grab and it was there's no hope.
Steel gear.
I'm gonna have to do something different. My idea now is to try and mount this on the outside of the wheel, just to see if this was even gonna work at all, because at this point I don't have many other ideas, so, but who knows where I'm gonna mount the motor or anything like that, so. I'm gonna do that now. Oh yes! Here it goes, trial number 1. Whoa! Okay, now for my next trick, I'm going to try and do it while I'm sitting on it and see if it moves me. I have no idea what is going to happen. Oh, pulley came off. Okay, Okay, so I've laser cut this bracket for the skateboard motor that should be able to go onto here like this, around there, screw onto the motor, and then put that inside here, like this, so it holds it nice and tight inside there. And then this hole here hopefully will go around the axle of the truck, and that should be nice and tight. This is like 0.5 mils smaller than that hole, so it should be a real tight fit. So I'm just going to screw this on and then like glue and clamp this so it stays nice and tight. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do it to this wheel first, just so that I don't have to muck around taking that gear on and off if this isn't going to work. So that goes on there, like that. Oof, yes, nice and tight. This is definitely going to work. Okay, it goes that way. Lucky I didn't stand on that. Ooh. Alright, I'll stand on it and let's see what happens. Pulley fell off. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. I moved. It's the first time I've moved on a skateboard that I've made. Okay, this just needs to be better by like 6,000 or 8,000 times. The motor is still not lined up with this main pulley. it brings it out to the edge like that. Because there's no flange, they have to be perfectly lined up. So I'm going to push this over with some spaces inside between the wheel and the pulley. Okay, so my biggest problem is still vibration right here from this thing, because once the motor is up on there, this moves a lot back and forth. So what I'm going to try and do is to build a bracket that goes from here, screws onto here, and goes across over to here somewhere where it can be anchored so this doesn't move as much. So I've just been adjusting the tension on this pulley just by moving this back and forth and shimmying stuff around, and I think I've got it good. I've also put some nuts in there so this pulley is off the wheel a bit, which just helps line it all up. And then I've just blue tacked the components to the bottom of the board. It's not very good, but yeah, this will just get me by just to test it out. So yeah, let's give it a test drive.